Thank you everyone for joining me this evening. Today we're going to be talking about groups. We have two different types of groups. We have a flexible group and a contracted group. So today we're going to focus under travel info and group travel. You can select the specific group that you want, a Groups Your Way or a contracted group. But for now, I'm going to click on where it says group travel. So within here, and you scroll down a little bit, it tells you kind of some benefits of a Groups Your Way and a contracted group. So a Groups Your Way is great for multiple origin groups that are traveling in different itineraries, different scheduled air groups, because you don't need a contract. You're going to get your promotion code discount, and you're able to receive comps on hotels plus airfare if you book the exclusive nonstop vacation flights. You control all the bookings 24/7, no contract. You can add that all in one travel protection for the additional benefits. If it's a destination wedding, depending on the property, you do get an additional 2-night anniversary stay at that same hotel. You also are getting a custom event page where it's customizable to your clients. It's bookable on your web page, and basically it's your bookings. So Groups Your Way is very flexible. If you start out with just a couple of rooms, kind of like your cruise people, Michelle, where it started out with just a couple, but now you got however many rooms or cabins that you're booking, you're just gonna be able to just continue to book, get your Groups Your Way code, add it to the reservations. Contracted groups is a little bit different. It's a minimum of 10 rooms. It's great for travelers because you get a little bit of a flexible payment and cancellation policy because you have a specific attrition date that you have to abide by before any of the hotel room nights penalties kick in. You do get low deposits for the entire group. And one of the benefits of a contracted group is it's a set price, and you get pre-reserved inventory. So if you are looking for 20 rooms, you're guaranteed that 20 rooms. So that kind of something I forgot to mention with the Groups Your Way, because you're booking it in VAX just like a normal reservation. Prices can change, availability can change. So each one of them has its bonuses. Each one of them has kind of their points where it's a little bit like, okay, maybe we should go to this one. You also get special bonus incentives, including complimentary rooms and airfare and so forth like that. And I'll show you how you can view that. So if you scroll down a little bit further on this page, you can click on Learn More. So you can learn more for contracted groups right over here, or Groups Your Way. So let's click on the Groups Your Way one. Right at the top, you're able to request a code. Click on Request Code, and it'll ask you for the type of group you want, contracted or a flexible group. So if you're looking for a flexible group, use that, fill out all the information, and submit it over to the Groups Your Way. They typically will get back within 48 business hours or so with that promotion code. So they're pretty quick with that. All right, let's get back out of here. So again, here's kind of some of the benefits of it. So the discount is up to $225 off per room. So, or I should say per reservation. So that's kind of why I wanted to mention, if you have those multiple rooms, put them on separate reservations so you can maximize that discount. You're able to earn one free exclusive nonstop vacation flight or a charter seat for every 20 adults paid. So the 21st seat is free. Again, you have that all-in-one travel protection that you can use. It's actually now technically the Travel Protection Plus. You can set your own commission, and that bride and groom get that free 2-night return stay, if applicable, with that hotel. To view some of the offers of the hotels, just click on View Offers. And you're going to get an Excel grid. So let's pull that up. All right. So if you scroll all the way to the right, it'll tell you the discount. So you can get $25, $50, $100, $200, or $225. Any hotel that is not within this Excel grid will receive half the discount. The reason why that is, we have special relationships with hotels, and they split the discount with us. So if it's not a participating hotel, they're not going to be taking half of that discount. We'll still give you that half of that discount though. So again, if it's not in this grid, it will be a non-bonus hotel. So if you scroll down here, let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Alright, let's see something here, because why can't I scroll down? It's locked into place. Let's do this. Okay, it looks like we're kind of SOL on this, but you can kind of see at the bottom of my screen my destination, my chain, hotel, and if it's combinable with brands. So let's go here real quick, and I'm going to focus on Riu Palace Las Americas. Let's see if I can. Let's go scroll up. Sorry about this. There we go. So kind of can see it. So Riu Palace Las Americas, that's in Cancun. Some of the benefits of this property are you get 1 free adult for every 5th paid, so that 6 adult is free, and that is year-round. You get a maximum of 8 complimentary passengers per group. You get that welcome drink. You get a $35 US spa credit per room, complimentary access to the wet areas. And if you scroll a little bit further, it'll give you that 2-night stay. So if there is a 2-night stay under this area, it'll say return 2-night anniversary stay for wedding groups. It'll either have a Y for a yes or N for no. So this area is pretty easy to navigate if your Excel file works. Unfortunately, mine does not at the moment, but you're going to be able to see which hotel and everything that you had. So, Christine, the one that you set up, which hotel did you have?
It was,
I know it was Aruba.
It is Renaissance Aruba Resort Casino.
Okay, so Renaissance is not a bonus hotel, so you wouldn't get the full discount. You'll get half the discount, and it doesn't look like there's really any special amenities with it. They'll just report it to the group department over at that property, and they'll still coordinate it basically as a group. You just don't get any of these additional amenities like you would with, let's say, a Riu or a Barcelo. So that's where you can find the information on the Groups Your Way as far as which hotels are participating and which do not. So again, benefits of the Groups Your Way: you can just start booking in advance, request a code whenever. The negative side of it is availability can go, so it's not guaranteed availability, and the rates can change.
Okay, so the rates aren't locked in.
No, because you can request a contracted group if you want for that, and then you'll have a set room block and also set rates. And then
there be set rates if, like, based on somebody coming in for 5 days versus somebody coming in for
yes,
4.
yes, there will be set rates for that, and when we kind of graze over the contract and the quote for a contractor group, they do have specific dates that are very important in there, such as dates you can release the rooms by without any penalties. That's the biggest thing, is you have penalties that kick in maybe 65 days prior, depending on the group, on the hotel. So as long as you release those rooms or those room nights prior to that, you're not going to be hit with any penalty. So maybe you might want to think about requesting an actual contracted group quote.
Yeah, once I get the exact place she's going to want to go, then I will do that.
Yeah, so that might not be a bad idea. Flexible groups, I think, is a great thing too, if everyone's starting to just book. So let's go back out of there and go into our contracted group. So again, you can request your quote right up here. It's going to be the same thing as it would be for a flexible group. Select the group type, fill out the information, submit it. So this was quicker, so let's go this way. On this page, it gives you kind of the benefits of it. So with our contractor groups, we have this really cool groups dashboard technology that we'll get into. And that's the biggest thing regarding the groups training is how to utilize the dashboard. Because anybody can read print on a website, anybody can read print in a contract. The dashboard is really the heart and soul of our groups department because it's self-service. You're going to be able to do pretty much almost everything that you want to do within that group yourself within your dashboard and VAX. You're going to be able to view the current offers over here as well. So same thing, such as the Groups Your Way, it'll pull up an Excel file, and you can use your filters to see what the benefits are. So we kind of saw half of an Excel file, so it'll look the same thing. So I'm not going to pull that one up and embarrass myself anymore that my Excel's not working. But anyway, you get the idea of how to use that. It's pretty simple. So let's say you actually go with a contracted group and you submit a quote. What it's going to look like is this. It's going to be prepared for whatever the agency is, so your agency, your name, and information. Prepared by an individual in our groups department. It will give you your dates and the package type and everything like that. It gives you the total amount of passengers, total amount of rooms. And you'll be able to see each individual room category. So let's say we're looking at the Junior Suite Garden View. Gives us the length of stay, 3 nights, 4 nights, 5 nights, 6 nights, 7 nights, and the occupancy, single, double, or triple. This particular hotel is a Dreams, so it is kid-friendly. It does give you child rates over here. And this is per night per person. So you'll be able to see each individual night and what that will cost per person. So if you scroll down a little bit further, you might get another property on there as well. So in this case, it's Secrets. So if you're looking at a Dreams, a lot of people look at Secrets as well because that's the adults only property that's right next door. So you may get individuals that don't want to be around the kids all the time, and maybe they want that adults only property that's next door. And they'll be able to go back and forth. Gives you your rates and length of stay right here. It'll tell you if transfers are included. So this one has transfers included, some may not. It'll give you your amenities. So if you scroll down a little bit more, it'll tell you your amenities. So in this case, 1 complimentary room for every 15 rooms paid. You get a maximum of 4 rooms. And the really nice thing about the contracted groups and these benefits is, let's say you hit those 4 maximum rooms. You're going to get a refund on those 4 rooms. So here's how you can even earn more money yourself. You can give that back to your customers as a refund, or you can tell groups, hey, add that to my commission. Or maybe you want to say, hey, you know what? I'll give 2 of those free rooms back to our customers, and I'll take 2 as commission. So you're really able to maximize your earnings with the contracted groups with those comps. You get an additional complimentary room upgrade for every 10 rooms paid. Looks like this property, you get a private welcome and check-in desk, at least 14 days prior, special hospitality desk, late check-in or late checkout if back-to-back, otherwise based off availability. If you scroll down further a little bit more, it's a lot of information in here. So let's scroll down a little bit more because it's going to break down for every single hotel. It'll give you a group's hotel policies such as deposit. So this one is 39 rooms or under, $500 total deposit. If you have charter, it's $50 per person deposit. The second deposit for 26 to 39 rooms is due 95 days prior to the group arrival, based off of the travel season, and we'll kind of see what the travel season would be for this property. So they have a little bit more strict payment policies as far as when payments are due, compared to your Groups Your Way program, where your deposit's due whenever it would be when you make your reservation, and then 45 days prior to departure. So if you scroll down a little bit more, it kind of tells you the cancellation policy. So holiday seasons, it's 100% penalty. If it's high season, 75%, mid-season, 50%, same thing with low. It'll tell you a little bit below what those dates are. So if you ever see something where it says adult brands and family brands, that means adult-only hotels and family hotels. So Secrets is adults only, that'll be an adult brand. Their holiday season is right here. Looks like December 23rd through the 31st, and then February 13th through the 17th. And it gives you your dates for your high season, mid-season, and low season. So those are some of those important dates that we were talking about. And then for family brands or family hotels, it's a little bit different because of the spring break rules. So you see we still have the December 23rd through the 31st. We still have the 13th of February through the 17th. But then they also have kind of spring break area, the 4th of April through 11th. Maybe that falls within Easter. I don't know when Easter is this week, but right around the spring break time. What was that? I'm sorry.
I didn't say anything.
Okay. All right. So below there, we'll kind of give you an example of what the calculations would be for the penalty. This is a little bit confusing, so I do not go over this in detail. It's best if you do have a contract. You can always work with your service desk, and they can kind of explain it a little bit more because they go based off of room nights. So on this specific example, it's 12 room nights, or 12 rooms staying 4 nights, traveling these dates, the 20th of February through the 23rd, at a Dreams Hotel. So that's 48 room nights. The reduction at 60 days. Okay, get out of their clipboard. Hold on. My clipboard's still stuck there. Alright, so oh, come on. I'm having computer issues. I'm sorry, everybody.
That's okay.
Maybe. No. Can't move it either. Alright, so we'll have to read through it. It says 60 days, 16 room nights. So 10 deluxe rooms at $270 per night, 6 junior suites at $310 per night. They allow a 25% room night reduction, so 12 nights out of your 48 nights. Your remaining nights are penalized, so 4 room nights. So you're looking at 4 room nights at the deluxe room category, which is $270. That equals $1,080. Times that by 75% comes to $810 total penalty. So it's a little confusing, and each contract's going to have a different example for these. Some of them are going to be a little bit different. Some of them are going to be a lot easier to read than this one. But do you kind of follow along how that works? I hear silence, so maybe confusion?
I'm trying to figure it out. I'm going to look at it.
Yeah, it is confusing. We're confused as well, just because we're not part of the groups team, so we don't actually physically work with this cancellation thing every single day like they do, like the back of their head. So 60 days was 100. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I have a question. If we're in the middle of doing that and the tutorial is available, what do we do?
What do you mean the tutorial's not available?
Canceling, like what if we we're walking away to doing it, we're kind of like trying to figure it out, right? So reservations, like I don't want to misquote somebody. So how do I make sure that I'm getting the right number to give to this person? It's like,
Yeah, every contract is going to be different. So this is kind of a more difficult one, but every contract's going to be different based off of your hotel. So every time you do a contracted group, you have a specific service department that you can go to, and they're there for you for whatever you need. So you physically can go and email them or call them, be like, hey, I need to remove X amount of rooms. I know I have to do it by X amount of date. If I don't by that date, what's the penalty? They figure all that out for you.
is there a different contact number for the group versus just the general, like, vacation, but just on the main screen?
Yes. Groups has their own separate department.
Okay.
And it's when we went in there where we went under group travel.
Yeah.
Their contact information will be in there.
Okay, so it isn't okay.
Correct. Yeah, otherwise you're just calling reservations. You can't call reservations, they'll just patch you over to groups. So it'll be a little bit extra of a wait if you do it that way.
I know it's just everything online, but sometimes you're hearing a voice on the other end, talking through it, makes you feel a little bit better. So I just like to double check.
And to be honest with you, I do not know a travel agent on their first couple groups have not called in.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So don't be afraid to give them a call. That's what they're there for. So you can scroll down a little bit more in the quote, and it's going to look the same thing throughout. So now it's going to pull up the secrets property right here. It's going to go through the same thing. So let's X out of that one. Now, let's say your customers are okay with it and actually sign a contract. It's going to look pretty much identical. Don't worry, this says Apple Vacations. Everything basically looks the same. The groups are processed the same way. It doesn't matter the brand. It's just they gave us a example contract via Apple Vacations and not FunJet. So you're going to have your agency information there as well. You're going to have your Apple Vacations or FunJet Vacations representative over here. Gives you all your information above. You will see up here where it tells you your VAX payment reservation. We will go into that a little bit more when we get into the dashboard. And then you'll understand why. You scroll down a little bit more within the actual contract. Gives you your important dates ahead of time. It's valid till X amount of date, since this is an old contract. The date shows September 12th of 2018. It gives you your deposit due date and the amount. And then your final payment due date.
Hey, Mark, it's Trisha.
Hi, Trisha.
I finally got on here. So this is exactly where I have my question for you.
Okay.
So I have a contract group right now for next May.
Mm-hmm.
And we have this whole thing deposit due. That's all the fees. The wedding, the bride group fee is a $5,000 deposit. That's all that. And then it has second deposit due, and then final payment due.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm booking rooms out of inventory and getting that invoice sent to the client, it's telling me on that piece, final payment is due March 12th, but the final payment is really due March 5th. And then there's like no second deposit on that invoice. So I'm right now manually typing them in.
Use what you see in your contract.
Right. So right now, so the only option I have is to manually type this invoice as I book the room. There's no way that the contract can be synced up into the inventory.
So it's not going to give you your first deposit, second deposit, due date on your individual group reservations.
Right, it does not.
No. So with those are a little bit more difficult. What you're going to need to do is put your initial deposit down when you do. So you did that already, and you got your dashboard, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when your second deposit is due, you already had your payment reservation. You can actually just pay that second deposit on that payment reservation, because within that dashboard, you're going to be able to move funds from that payment reservation to your individuals. Okay, so you reached your deposit amount, right?
Yes.
Okay, and what did group say?
The group said, oh, just pay it on the individual reservation.
Okay, you can pay it on the individual reservations, or you can move the money from that payment reservation to your individual reservations.
Which I did. So that group paid the $5,000, and I put it in the payment reservation, and then I put that on there, and then moved the funds.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I have everybody booking rooms, and we're doing a $200 deposit for the room, and then half of their remainder will be due by the second deposit date and then final.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to make those $200 deposits, I'm making those on each individual reservation because the payment reservation won't allow me to put any more funds in there, even though right now it's at zero.
It's showing no funds on there?
Correct. Well, I moved the funds.
But it's still not allowing you to add any additional onto that payment reservation.
Correct. And I was told, don't worry about it, just put it on each reservation, which seemed like a really good answer.
I know they have limitations. I don't know the specifics of why you cannot add additional to the payment reservation.
Right.
I have heard of that before, but that's only when you meet your deposits without actually moving those funds over. Can you send me that information and I can reach out to one of the group's managers tomorrow?
Sure.
And then I can kind of let you know. See, you already have some dashboard work. I said you already have some dashboard work.
I do.
Yeah, so, but yes, you're not gonna be able to see those first deposit dates, the second deposit dates, the final dates. So the individual reservations in there have their own individual payment rules. You got to go based off of what your actual contract says.
Okay, so I'll just keep changing that invoice manually.
Yeah, unfortunately, right now, that is not something that we've been able to come up with and get a fix for that one.
Okay, got it.
So everything else within your actual contract will look pretty much identical. Gives you your room block, gives you your rates. So everything else basically looks identical to your quote. So you may have heard Tricia and I talking about that payment reservation. So once you sign your contract and send it over to groups, we build you a payment reservation. So now here's the fun part about groups is that dashboard. So let's get out of the contract. Let me pull up a payment reservation for you. So we got our own special for our testings and our trainings. And I can't type, so I'm missing something. Q0T3G, there we go. So here is what your payment reservation will look like. Just random amounts. We adjusted it because here's your group total. This reservation is where you're going to be applying your deposit. Once the deposit is applied to this payment reservation, you might hear it referred to as a parent reservation. We build you the actual dashboard. So let's say you apply your deposit. We build you your dashboard. Anytime you're within a reservation for a contracted group, just click on the name of the group with a promotion code. It takes you to your dashboard. Now, it gives you your information on your group. So it gives you your group ID, your departure dates, your hotel details. It gives you your service desk information. So these would be the people you would contact. Maybe you had a question on how to read the hotel policies to cancel for your contracted group. These would be the people you would want to contact. Gives you your important dates to remember, your final payment due date, and your attrition and cancellation policies begin at an X amount of date. So below is your dashboard. It'll be split up into two different areas on this reservations tab, I should say. You have your payment reservation right here. So this is the one that we pulled up. This is the one that you would apply your deposit to. If you click on the reservation number, it takes you to that reservation. You can also send a payment request or that payment link to your customers by clicking on the payment request. This is that single-use payment link. It tells you your due dates and everything. Below are individual reservations. You may hear them called child reservations. So here's kind of an analogy for you. Parent reservation, they always have the money. Children reservation or child reservations, they do not have the money, but the parents give them the money. So that's a fun analogy I like to use because parents give their children the money or their allowance or whatever you want to call it. So we'll get into that a little bit more when we do the payment transfers. So below will give you your individual children reservations that you will make within your group's dashboard right here. So you've contracted flight and hotel, hotel only. And everything's built in specifically for your dates and your hotel and everything like that. It tells you your status of your hotel, so whether it's booked, canceled, or on request. We'll go over on request shortly. The passenger's name, the type of package it is, so contracted hotel only, or is it air and hotel? Your departure dates, your return dates, totals, everything like that. So that one's pretty easy to figure out because it breaks down each individual booking. If you go over to your inventory tab, everything is based off of room nights. So you see here, the night of the 17th, we had a total of 1 room. We sold 1 room. That means we have 0 room nights available for that night of that 17th. We also see that for the 18th. The 19th, we had 2. We sold 1. That means we have 1 available. So it tells you the number that you originally had, what you sold, and what you have left. And at the bottom, it gives you a grand total. If you have contracted group airspace with those exclusive nonstop flights, aka charters, it'll tell you that over here. It'll read the same way. Total amount of seats available, total sold, total that you have left, or total available. So everything will be based off of the nights that you have for your hotel. And then if you have the contracted airfare, it'll tell you how many seats you booked, how many are still available, and how many you sold. And it breaks it down by flight, as such as departure date, return date. We have the commission one. So this is the tab that you'd be able to view all your commission, your individuals, and then your total earned down here. So that one's pretty self-explanatory. We don't need to get into too much details on that. Now we have the payment tab. So you're going to be able to self-service your own groups as far as moving funds around. Right now, you're able to have your parent or your payment reservation give money to those child reservations or those individual reservations. Right now, you're not able to move money back from a child reservation to your parent. So I think every parent would love it if their child gives them money back. But normally it doesn't happen. We are working a way to allow it to where the transfer of payment is a little bit more lenient and you can move money from maybe one child reservation to another one, back to the payment reservation and so forth. That is something that we're looking at, but right now it's just not in place. So to move the money is actually very simple. Since this is a kind of a test dashboard, we don't have any money on here, but it's pretty simple, and I'm sure Trisha can attest to this. It's not that difficult. You put in the amount you want to move over to whatever reservation. say we want to move $100 over to this reservation right here. You scroll to the bottom and hit continue. And it'll take it from the balance up here, put it on this reservation here. But because I do not actually physically have payment, it's not going to do anything for me. So you can do those yourselves. You can pay your deposits here and then move them individually over to each individual reservation. So is everyone okay with kind of those 4 tabs as far as the reservation tab, inventory, commission, and payment transfers? Yeah. All right, cool. So let's talk about actually making a child reservation within Bax. What I'm really going to focus on is some of the enhancements that came out for it. You might not know about it, but in September we have a couple enhancements that really came out. So if you're out of allotment, you're able to actually book a room that's on request, and it'll auto send an email over to groups saying, hey, I need an additional room. They go to the hotel, ask for the room at the contracted group rate. And I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to use the nights of the 17th through the 21st because I know that we don't have any rooms available the 17th or 18th. So I'm just going to choose my contracted group type. Let's do hotel only. Let's do our 6 nights. Get your number of rooms here if you want. Gives you your group ID right here. Let's add the travel protection. If there's multiple hotels, you'll have that drop down. Let's go ahead and hit search. All right, so now let's go ahead, click on our hotel. And look at our inventory. It says on request here. It says on request here. If you click on your little calendar, it'll tell you have 0 rooms. You can, however, book it from here. So let's go ahead and make the reservation. I'll show you kind of how it looks. Got our travel protection, transfers, so forth, everything like that. The totals here are going to match up for your contracted room. And you're just going to add on your travel protection and any additional costs. At the checkout page, bright red lettering says it's on request. Let's go ahead. Let's type in some names. I'll use my name. And let's put my nephew in there. So let's go ahead, go down, and book it on request. So once it's actually created, within about a minute and a half, let's wait for this to create. All right, there we go. You're going to get an automated email that'll say, this is an example one, so Anthony made this one. I'll say, thank you for making the booking. You made reservation XYZ. Inventory isn't currently available within your group block at this time, but we are going to work with the hotel to get that for you. So that's automatic. You don't need to send anything over to them to follow up. They get it automatically. So now, if we go back to our dashboard by clicking on the name of the group, you'll be able to see the status of your reservation. So we have some on request ones right here. Oh, Harry Potter looks like it's going to this one too, which will be pretty cool. I like Harry Potter. So it'll say on request. If it comes back confirmed, they'll change it over to book within the status of the dashboard. If it comes back denied, they're going to be sending you an email as well. So they'll let you know if it comes back approved or not. So that is one of the current things that we did come up with, where you don't have to reach out to the service team to request rooms. Just make your reservations as you normally would. It gets sent over automatically. so they don't have to get any of the additional details. One of the coolest enhancements that we have is adding airfare to land only. This is going to be coming live for regular reservations. Fingers are crossed. We wanted it to launch on the 26th. It might be delayed maybe about a week, but it's going to look the same of how we do it right here. So let's go in here. Well, let me go to my Harry Potter one that I created a couple days ago and cancel that one though first. Let's cancel Harry Potter. And I believe, oh, yep, he was going with Ron Weasley, but somebody corrected me. I didn't spell it right. So that one's canceled. So that falls back in the inventory. So let's go back. I have my on request one. Let's pull it up. So this is going to look identical to what it is with your FIT reservations or your normal regular reservations. We do have some changes that will be coming along with it, and it will translate over to the group's dashboard, and I'll kind of tell you what those are when we get there. So to add air to land only, you're going to scroll down, go under your itinerary tools. When you click on modifications, you guys may see this already within regular FIT reservations. You'll have an add air button. This one is not allowed because it's not available. That is one of the things that will happen if the room's not available or if it is a non-refundable room category. It won't even let you to do that. So that is one thing I wanted to point out. So let's go in here, go back to our dashboard, let's find another reservation, and see which one we have that's land only. There we go, land only. So we're going to go back down, modifications, add air. You're going to get these drop downs. You're only able to select one different package type, so that's flight plus hotel. Now from here, you're going to put whatever origin that you want. So let's say it's out of Baltimore. Put in your origin, hit search. Another important thing that I want to show you when we get there is the names. And I'll show you that in just a few seconds of why it's important for the names. Alright, so it's thinking. There we go. So now you're just going to select whatever flights that you want, as you normally would. So I'm just going to select these Southwest flights. Select your return. Now from here you can go to your checkout page and complete it. So let's wait for that checkout page to pull up. Here we go. So notice here, we're not able to change the name. Because what it's doing is it's already pulling through the names that you originally had booked on that land-only reservation. And because land-only reservations, they're a lot more lenient as far as names. So maybe instead of James, you put Jim. Or maybe you didn't put any middle name on there. You want to make sure you get that corrected to how their passport shows prior to adding the airfare. Because once we add the airfare onto the reservation, it's going to be under whatever airline policy is. Some airlines charge a fee to make any corrections. Some airlines do not allow to make any types of name corrections. And now from here, let's say everything is accurate. You're going to put in your date of birth. Change your gender over. Now you can scroll to the bottom, add any additional payment that's required for the deposit, and complete your itinerary change. And then it'll repull as an air and hotel reservation. So we are really excited about that enhancement coming up. Another couple enhancements that just came out are Basic Economy. And I'll send the Basic Economy link over for you, Trisha, so you can send that out to your team. And also Multi-Origin, able to book from 2 different separate gateways sharing the same room. That came out just a couple weeks ago. So are you guys okay with how to make a group individual reservation?
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like making any normal reservation. Alright, it sounds like someone has their computer on. That's going to be the reason why. But yeah, so making the individual group reservations are pretty simple. All of our enhancements that we have come out with, I will send you the link for those, and if you have any questions on them, let me know. I can walk you through it one-on-one. Just do a quick little webinar. And I'll also send you the links for how to add airfare to a land-only reservation. I'll send it over for the FIT one because it's going to change over. That will change with the groups one as well. So are you guys comfortable, a little bit more comfortable now with groups?
Yeah, thank you. I am.
Awesome. And that's probably the shortest webinar that we've had. So why don't we open it up? What questions do you guys have?
I asked all my questions at the beginning.
Before it even started.
Yeah, I got here early, remember?
That's true. I may have an answer.
Alright, so where you said you could do the on-demand request for room,
Mm-hmm.
is that something that's automatically done, or does that need to be like done ahead of time?
So you're only able to do it for groups. So that the on request is when you're out of your inventory. So if you notice you're out of your inventory, you can book the room on request. It automatically goes over to groups. Groups will automatically go over to the hotel, try to get more rooms for you.
So, I guess my question is, I have a family that, in my group, one of them wants a room type that we did not contract with.
Okay,
So
that's a little different.
option. Okay.
Yep, so that is an option. You're going to want to reach out to your group's service team to see if, and they'll go back to the hotel, see what they can do for a rate for you.
Okay, so that's what I did. I just wasn't sure if I missed something or.
No. Yeah, because that one actually wasn't in the allotment. It's not going to show up as on request. So that's a very good question.
And then the other question I had is on the payment request.
Mhm.
So my quick payment request, excuse me, does it send anything back to the client that the payment has been made?
It'll send it over to you.
Okay, good. So if I have to go and change those dates, then I can do that.
After the fact, yeah. You can if you need to.
Okay. But I'd like to be able to do that so that they don't have to keep calling me.
Maybe they just want to call you and say hi.
Probably not.
Hi, here's some money. Because I just like giving my money. Here you go.
Well, it's funny because, on the group, it's like a different, almost like awkward because you're working with the bride and groom, or I guess maybe just wedding
No.
No.
Nope.
You cannot do that.
Here's the payment link. That's one cool thing about the Groups Your Way is you get that customized groups page.
Right.
But with contract is a little bit different. But the funny thing is, you were the second person today that I had a conversation about that talked about groups. And yes, you build that relationship with the main person, the bride and groom typically, or maybe the grandparents or the parents. But the other people you don't build that relationship with.
Right.
And they said that's probably that's one of their least favorite things is because they don't get to build that relationship with those other individuals.
Right. And I find it's like sometimes they almost don't want to talk to you. You know, maybe they have their own that they work with, or they don't want to work, whatever. Maybe.
Yeah.
But
who knows what it
this
is?
is like this is the second group I have done, and it's the second group that has been a little bit standoffish. Like they'll call me and I'll be like, "Okay, what are you doing? I just need my credit card information." Oh.
Sure, I'll take your money. Have a great day.
Okay, well.
And it also depends on the individual too. You get that a lot with the younger crowd.
Yeah.
They're very standoffish, especially about giving payment information.
Yeah.
And that I have noticed as well. But yeah,
Those are my only questions.
those are difficult.
No.
The most difficult thing, honestly, about a contracted group or the Groups Your Way is reading those darn cancellation penalties.
Mm-hmm.
But you got your service people there for you to help you out with that.
So on this group that I have, we have a whole bunch of rooms booked. So yeah, actually, maybe I do have a question. So I'm actually going to bow out. I wanted to say good night.
All right, good night. Thanks for joining.
Bye. So on my inventory,
Mm-hmm.
this is where I get a little bit confused, and then I guess maybe once everybody's booked, we just tell them to turn all the rooms back in that we didn't book. But so, say for example, like right now, I have one bedroom oceanfront on May 11th through the 15th. I have 8 rooms. Of full free, I have 5 available. Now, what if I had somebody come in and only wanted, like, say the night of the 11th, I didn't sell any more rooms, I still had 5 available.
So you have to give those room nights back. Yeah.
So I just give those room nights back.
Yeah.
So the cancellation, like I call it cancellation, go by what is still in my inventory. So whatever's in my inventory that says available, that's when I would say, okay, I want to take it back, and then you'd be all set with any cancellation.
Correct. So yeah, as long as you give everything back prior to those attrition dates, you're fine.
Okay. So this group isn't until next May, so there's plenty of time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more than likely you'll be able to fill it. If not, let me know. I'll book it. I'd like to go somewhere. But yeah, it's those important dates that you really need to be focused on and making sure you give those room nights back before those dates. Because otherwise you're going to get hit with that, whatever that penalty is. And groups penalties are a lot more harsh than individual reservations because they're banking on you selling all those nights that they gave to you and help and are holding away from other people to book.
Right.
Yeah. But otherwise, it's pretty simple. And groups, the average commission on groups is over $2,000. So if you can get 20 groups a year, that's not too bad, or whatever it is, 50 groups, who knows? Like 80 something rooms on a cruise.
I have 25 rooms. I think I have.
That's a pretty good
I have
group.
a total of 145 room nights.
That's pretty good.
And we sold 42. 103 left.
Which isn't that bad when you considering it's over a year out.
Yeah. I just literally just put that all pulled together.
Oh yeah, you Yeah, you'll be perfectly fine on that one. But yeah, it's really easy. I mean, when you think about it, after your second or third group, you'll be a pro.
Alright, cool.
But yeah, I mean, I don't have anything else for you. If you guys have anything for me.
I don't know if anybody, I don't think anyone else is on the call. Anyone else out there?
Oh, they bailed on us?
Oh, we got one person.
That's it.
Alright, I'm good.
All right. But
Thank you so much, Mark.
oh, my pleasure. I mean, that's what I'm here for. You guys have my contact information. I'm always here for you. Whatever you need, please reach out. I'm here. Let me know what I can help with.
Okay, cool. Alright, I'll shoot you a text in a little bit. Thank you.
Cool. Not a problem. All right. So then from here, what I'll do is I'll go ahead. I'll stop the recording. I'll get it all rendered and everything in the morning. I'll send it over to Trisha with some of those additional links as well. Take a look at them. They're pretty neat. And if you have any questions on them, let me know. And I'll give you guys a call. We can go over it one-on-one. All right.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks everyone for spending the time with me this evening. And hopefully I get to talk to you guys sometime soon.
Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you guys later.